Your spiritual teacher might be your biggest spiritual obstacle. And what I'm about to tell you is going to make you question every guru, every course, every awakening program you've ever considered paying for. Because the spiritual marketplace isn't designed to liberate you, it's designed to keep you dependent. And the people profiting from your spiritual confusion have turned enlightenment into a subscription service where you never actually arrive, you just keep paying. If you've ever felt like you're making progress but somehow always need the next level, the next course, the next initiation, this is for you. Because it's time to expose how the modern spiritual industry has perverted ancient wisdom into a cash extraction system. Let's start with how they hook you. Real spiritual traditions throughout history had a simple model. Teach the student until they become their own authority, then send them away to embody the teachings independently. The mystery schools of ancient Kemet didn't have monthly membership fees. The forest sages of India didn't sell certification programs. The desert mystics didn't create dependency loops. They pointed you inward, gave you the tools, and expected you to do the work yourself. But today's spiritual industry has turned enlightenment into Netflix. There's always another season, always another charge, always another advanced teaching that conveniently requires more money to access. Watch the pattern. They give you just enough insight to feel like you're making progress, then create artificial scarcity by claiming their higher-level teachings are only for serious students who can afford the investment. They position themselves as essential intermediaries between you and Source, as if divine connection requires their premium package. They've gamified awakening with levels, certificates, and exclusive access. Bronze level enlightenment for $297. Silver level consciousness for $997. Gold level mastery for $2,997. As if spiritual development operates on the same model as a video game or a credit card rewards program. Here's how they keep you hooked. They solve problems their own teachings created. First, they convince you that you're broken, incomplete, or spiritually deficient. Then they sell you the solution to the inadequacy they manufactured. They teach you to distrust your own inner knowing by constantly asking what would they do instead of what does my soul know. They make you dependent on their interpretation of ancient texts instead of developing your own direct relationship with the source material. They create elaborate hierarchies where you're always a student, never a graduate. There's always someone higher up the spiritual food chain who has access to teachings you don't. There's always another initiation, another level, another secret that justifies their authority over your spiritual development. Real teachers throughout history did the opposite. The Buddha's final words were, "Be a light unto yourself." Not subscribe to my premium Dharma package. The Tao Te Ching says, "The wise are not learned, the learned are not wise." Not take my 12-week certification to become a Tao master. Lao Tzu taught that the best leaders make people feel like they accomplished everything themselves. Modern spiritual teachers make you feel like you can't accomplish anything without them. This isn't new. Throughout history, spiritual parasites have hijacked authentic teachings for power and profit. Rome took the mystery traditions of Kemet, sophisticated systems for consciousness development, and turned them into imperial religion designed to control populations. They stripped away the inner work and replaced it with external authority, ritual without understanding, belief without direct experience. Colonial powers rebranded indigenous sacred ceremonies as witchcraft while simultaneously stealing the knowledge for their own use. They demonized the practices publicly while extracting the wisdom privately, then repackaged it as their own discoveries. The Catholic Church spent centuries suppressing texts like the Gospel of Thomas, which records Yeshua saying, "If those who lead you say, 'See, the kingdom is in the sky,' then the birds will precede you. If they say, 'It is in the sea,' then the fish will precede you." The kingdom is within you. Why suppress this? Because it destroys their business model of being necessary intermediaries between people and the divine. Even now, how many so-called spiritual teachers are just AI prompt repeaters? They take ancient wisdom, run it through ChatGPT to make it sound contemporary, then sell it as their own channeled insights. They're not building anything new, they're repackaging and reselling what was always freely available. We're living through an epidemic of spiritual mimicry. People who've read a few books, taken a few courses, maybe had a psychedelic experience or two, suddenly positioning themselves as enlightened masters, ready to guide others. They speak in spiritual jargon designed to sound profound but say nothing concrete. They hide behind ambiguous language that sounds wise but provides no practical guidance. They use their own unhealed trauma as credentials, claiming their pain qualifies them to heal others. They create artificial urgency around your spiritual development. The ascension window is closing. The 5D shift is happening now. You need to raise your vibration immediately, all designed to make you act from fear rather than wisdom, to purchase their solution before you have time to think critically about whether you actually need it. They commodify sacred plant medicines, turning ancient ceremonial traditions into weekend warrior experiences for wealthy Westerners. They strip away the cultural context, the years of preparation, the community integration, and turn profound healing technologies into spiritual tourism. They appropriate symbols, practices, and terminologies from traditions they've never deeply studied, mixing and matching spiritual concepts like ingredients in a blender, creating confusion rather than clarity. So how do you distinguish authentic guidance from spiritual parasitism? Here's the test. Does this teacher make you more dependent on them or more sovereign within yourself? Authentic teachers point you toward your own inner authority. They give you tools and expect you to use them independently. They celebrate when you outgrow the need for their guidance. They make themselves obsolete by empowering your direct connection to truth. Spiritual parasites create dependency. They position themselves as permanently necessary for your continued growth. They make you feel lost without their constant input. They subtly undermine your confidence in your own inner knowing while positioning themselves as the solution to your self-doubt. Real teachers are comfortable saying, "I don't know." Fake teachers have an answer for everything, often delivered with absolute certainty about matters that are inherently mysterious. Authentic guides encourage you to question everything, including their own teachings. Spiritual parasites discourage questioning and label doubt as lower vibrational or evidence of spiritual immaturity. True teachers live their teachings consistently, not just when cameras are rolling or students are watching. Fake teachers perform spirituality as a persona while living contradictory private lives. Your inner flame doesn't need a middleman. It needs space to remember what it already knows. Every authentic spiritual tradition points to the same truth. The answers you seek are already within you. The mystics who actually transformed consciousness throughout history didn't do it by following someone else's program. They did it by going within, facing their shadows, and developing direct relationship with the forces that govern reality. Stop outsourcing your awakening to people who profit from your spiritual confusion. Stop looking for someone else to validate your experiences, interpret your visions, or give you permission to trust your own inner knowing. The ancient mystery schools were called schools, not because students stayed forever, but because learning was expected to lead to graduation. You were supposed to master the teachings and then go live them independently. Your spiritual development is not a subscription service. It's not a pyramid scheme where you need to keep paying to access higher levels. It's a natural unfolding of consciousness that happens when you stop feeding your power to parasites and start cultivating direct relationship with the source of all wisdom. The kingdom is within you, always has been, always will be. No teacher, no course, no certification can give you access to what you already are. Stop feeding the parasites. Stop bowing to false prophets. Stop letting your spiritual journey be engineered by someone who sees you as currency rather than consciousness. Your flame was never meant to be anyone's battery pack. It's meant to burn independently, illuminating your own path and inspiring others to kindle their own fire. Drop sovereign flame if you're ready to stop outsourcing your awakening and start trusting the wisdom that's been waiting inside you all along.